I'm going to start this video the same way I started the last one, because it's like 10 minutes later for me and a whole day for you. I don't know how this video is going to go. I have an idea. I'm going to see how it works, but let's get right into it because I don't want to bore you again. So what's going to make Dave furious? David, what's going to make David furious? For the past few nights, Sandy's been looking for some specific stuff for her mom. So we've been hitting lots of value villages and thrift stores after work, driving around. And of course, while we're in a thrift store, I'm going to be looking for Lego. and I mentioned in a couple videos back, the only Lego that our value village down the street had the other day was Wild Style, the radio alarm clock, or not radio, just an alarm clock, which we bought because why not have Wild Style in your house? So that was one of the first times ever that there was, besides Wild Style, there's absolutely zero Lego, and I didn't see, no, there was one Duplo car in a bag hanging on the back thing, but it was full of other stuff that I wasn't interested. It was an Octane car, that little car. I already have that, and me buying Duplo. But we hit all the other value villages. We went to the one up the hill in Hamilton. We went to one in Ancaster. We went to the one in Waterdown. And so we just basically made a circuit, hit a few other places. And Sandy found some stuff for her mom, and I found some Lego. so here it is. I wasn't going to do it, but I did it. Boom. What's going to make Dave very, very unhappy. Sorry, Dave. And again, this wasn't all the Lego in the stores. I just, because I am, honestly, I am not by what you perceive here. I honestly am trying to reduce the amount of used Lego that comes into this house until I do something with this room behind me, because it is full. It is, I won't say bursting at the seams, but it is full. And so I am trying to do that. My thing right now is, if it's classic and it's not just basic brick, that's what I'm getting. So there was like 4 big bags at one of the value villages, big bags. And there's a lot of black and but all the new colors, which is fine. I don't mind the new colors. I'll get into that at some point. But it was a lot of basic, and there was nothing classic about it. And it was like probably Ninjago and Shima, which is great. And I got lots of it because we had Josh and we bought those sets new off the shelf. But I don't need those pieces here because I have all those pieces here and I don't need any more. So I would look at a bag and say, oh, even if it's not just basic brick, but there's a lot of like modified plates, modified bricks, whatever, and the various colors. I have those colors here, and I'm not building with them at this time. I might build with them in the future and I'll regret not buying them, but today I'm not regretting not buying them because this thing would be twice as full. So this is my, over the last 2 nights or 3 nights of what I've acquired at the various value villages. And the thing is that we have our 20% discount card. And so I think all in total, what you see right here, like this one's $6.99 minus 20%, $5.99 minus 20%, blah, blah, blah. There's the most expensive here is $39.99, and I'll show you why in a sec. But I don't think the rest of them, nothing's over $12. So all in all, probably not $100 minus 20%, so $80. I should actually add them up, but my calculator's over there. So, well, let's just do it really quick in my head because let's see how bad my math is. So that's $7, $6, so that's $13. $13 plus $15, that's $28. $33. 33, 30, $39. It's coming lower. It's 39, 46, 46, 46, 56, $61. And the big one, $61 plus $39, $40, $101. That's pretty close. 61 plus 40, $100. Minus 20%, so $80. So this is $80 worth of Lego, and I will show you why I bought it. Each one of these bags, and again, I left lots of bags on the shelf, or hanging from these bags. The one thing that hit me this time, and it doesn't because again, usually I don't find Lego in other stores and other thrift shops. We always go to ours, and they just seem to hang them on the walls now with the rest of the toys, and they don't care. There's nothing's behind the counter anymore in our Value Village when it comes to Lego. They had a couple new boxes months ago of Chima or whatever, and I'm just not interested in buying a new box for $50. And I'm going, yeah, online is $130, like a big Chima set or a big Ninjago set, whatever. But I don't need it. I'm not buying Ninjago. I am not buying Chima sets. I'm buying parts. And so they had they had an EV3. They had an EV3 there, but I already got one off of Janie. They had an EV3 for $199, and it was out of the box, and it was just the instructions and wrapped up in a bag or something. I'm not paying $200 for an EV3 because first of all, you don't know if it's working. But second of all, I have one. And I'm not even using EV3. I'm still using my RCXs. So I know to be my completist for my electronic stuff, I already have, I think I have two now, two EV3s. I'm not going to buy another one for $200. Don't need it. But anyway, so I am passing on lots of Lego. So if your guys out there thinking I'm hoarding all the Lego for me, mine, my precious. No, I'm not. Because I'm just getting the parts and pieces I want. And again, that graph in my head, do I want this versus, well, what's the sorting, all that other stuff? Like there's a whole level of analysis every time I see a bag. And again, I go to the Value Village yesterday. I think it's one in Ancaster. I won't remember. It doesn't matter. And there's 4 bags behind the counter where you have to call the person over to bring them over to you. And so she goes, okay, here's the first bag. Well, just bring all 4 out. No, I can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? Well, I can only show you 1 bag at a time. Well, what happens if I want all 4? Like, I don't know if I want all 4 right now. Can you just bring them? Oh, no. And then she's standing there. And I get that. They have to stand there. So you don't walk out of the store with it. So I understand their policies. Fully understand it. I'm not faulting their policies at all. So she brings me the first bag. I go, ooh, that's a great bag. It's in here. I said, oh, let's see the second bag. And I go, oh, not so much. You're right. So even the stuff behind the counter, I'm not buying all of it because again, it's my interest. It is if I had unlimited space and unlimited funds, even then I don't think I'd be like that jackass that would just like yoink all the Lego out of all the stores all the time. First of all, because I just finished sorting. And that took me forever. And I'm still quote unquote not done sorting. That was just the raw sorts and whatever. But but as I say with these bags sitting here, I'm done sorting. I get the cognitive dissonance. But this is the fun sort. Again, justification, the whole analysis. So that was new to me. I never had that before at any Value Village when I ask for something. And again, usually it's just there's only one item behind the shelf or behind the case that I want to see, and so they just bring it out. I never ever asked for a second one, although I may have back in the day at ours and say, oh, there's 2 sets there. Can I see them? And they bring them both out, and she's standing there. She's standing there anyway. Bring all 4 out. She's still standing there. So whatever. Their rules. Their policies, I abide with them and I actually accept them. This is just me venting. I don't think, oh, stupid Value Village won't let me look at all 4 bags at the same time. No. You guys keep on adhering to your store policies. I have a whole tangent about that, but I'm not going to get into it now. Look forward to it. When I'm in somebody else's house, abide by their rules. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out each one of these bags. And we're going to look at it. I'm going to open them up and we're going to see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to move the camera so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Well, that's actually working pretty good. So I am my own lint brush right now. Because I was actually mortified about how dusty this blanket is, this sheet is on top of my thing. I should wash it sometime. But for this video, I'm just going to use my patented, very, very expensive lint brush, my lint roller. Masking tape, which I always keep in the leg room in case I have to tape something together. Not that I ever have to take something together. But anyway, so there we go. That's done. Trash can. Let's get back into it. So here's the box. And we're going to open up one of these at a time. Value Village finds. This is the box over there. So you can see it. Just grab the first one. I bought this because it had some old yellow slopes. It had a little tree there. You can see a little tree there. It had a Shima or, you know, these little wings here. That's not exactly why I bought it, but it looked like it had some old gray in it, and that's why I bought it. But I'm looking at it now, and I don't see that old gray, so maybe this is not why I bought this one, but I did buy it for the slopes. So we'll just dump it out here. I'm going to open up my trash can lid so it gets those things into it. Just in case you guys never seen this, this is my trash can. Yeah, I got this at Valley Village years ago, and it was full of Lego. There was not one piece of Tyco in here, so I use this as my trash can. And you know, not that I'm saying anything about Tyco. Anywho, so yeah, this guy, I also remember getting this guy. I'm sure this is a ubiquitous part these days. But it looked like it's 100% Lego. I didn't see any non-Lego in here. I'm looking right now and I don't see any non-Lego. And I also don't see any old gray. This is like all new stuff, which is fine. Is that a broom? Wow, it's a pretty good looking broom. So some utensils, some spears, blah, blah, blah. This guy is probably one of the reasons why I bought it, but that was kind of a meh, and it was $6. So in the end, wash it, sort it, put it into the collection. Next, this had old door again, my era. Some actually blue slopes, which I do run short of because of, you know, how I build. Some old bricks. So I knew there was going to be old gray in here, but also some new stuff. So let's just dump this one out. Because I do remember going on Bricklink one time and ordering just a bunch of these. And again, if you're my age, this was a ubiquitous piece. It's a blue 3x4 slope, but I needed thousands of them. So what are you gonna do? So this one already has 2 more. I also see a broken plate in here, so that's gonna go straight into the bin of doom. Half an alligator. So where's the bin of doom? Where's the other? Actually, quickly in the bin of doom, I actually started throwing out plates, old gray plates. Sad. I mean, I could use that still, but nope. I was sorting my plates the other day for my big build. Oh, this is not Lego. So that's trash. That goes in the trash can. Not Lego. Usually I do a bigger sort and find a non-Lego. So there's half an alligator. I probably got most of those pieces somewhere else. This is Lego, but it's plus Lego, so that already goes into the bin of doom. No use of me washing that. Cars, kind of neat. Hot dog, so this is relatively new set. Minifig head. You usually don't get minifig parts and pieces, but I do find that I do sometimes get a torso and some legs, which is obviously kind of cool. There's always a little piece of gunk, but this one is kind of meh. But overall, worth the $6. This is why I like the table, because I can just sweep whatever into the bin. Even when I was sorting, when I did that yellow sort, having the bin sitting here in my lap. I think this is going to be, why did I get this one? This is like now, when I look at it now, this one is like going to be, I don't know, probably a disappointment. For $6.99. Let's see if it's a disappointment. Again, oh, I got a tower, which is always good. Oh, minifig legs, always nice. These tires, I don't actually have too many of these tires, which is shocking, but I have tons of tires anyway. All relatively newer pieces. I'm going to be using this because I'm going to go to the mill standard, so I'm going to be needing these guys. So, wow, this has got some gunk in it. So, but it is all Lego by the looks of it, with dust and hairballs, which is fantastic. It makes me feel so good to find hairballs. half a Unikitty. Maybe the other half's in there, I didn't see it. So yeah, just ugh. This is why I have my lint remover. I bought this one because this is just screaming me, and I'll show you why. And just little things I like. And there was another lot there at the store, but it was behind the counter. This was on the shelf. This was out in the store floor, but behind the counter, it had a whole bunch of pirate parts, like the ladders and the tree. Ooh, I didn't even see that. And the tree leaves and stuff like that. But it's old gray, first of all, old gray, old console, secondly. But I didn't see that. But the actual lift, the jack for cars. This is such a cool piece. I think I only have 2 or 3 of them right now. I like this piece that came out in the 80s. I got it for this. And there it is. This is why I bought that bag right there. Trans yellow hose. Some implements. Always nice for if I ever get back in the castle, or you just give it to Jeffy. But 3 arrows, bows and arrows. Again, so, but I just didn't even see this. White brick, light brick from the 9-volt Light and Sound. Can't go wrong with that. That is not Lego. That goes into the trash can. Normally I would have a bin that goes back to Value Village, but for no ladder. So this was definitely worth the price that I paid for it. What did I pay for that one? $5.99. I'll take that. I'm gonna be like, what's his name, Daryl on Storage Wars, which I haven't watched in forever. I'll take that any day of the week. So that was definitely worth the $5, $5.99. This is a bigger one. Again, same lot, same store, and this one I think just speaks for itself for why I bought it. It doesn't have specific classic space parts, and this one was $14.99. So a tree. I love these trees. These are the trees I have growing up. Now the granular trees I also had, but all of them got lost in the big melt, which again I still haven't talked about a lot. Ladder, cool. The crane, I love this piece. I never bought one set new that had this piece, but I happen to have lots of them now with the collection. Radar dishes, fantastic. Half a police helicopter. I could probably actually build a set. Castle wall. That's what I saw in the lot. 2x2 round gray, which again I'm vastly short of, and this is non-Lego brick. So this one's going to require more sorting. I might put this in a different bin. I don't know yet. Cup, printed brick, fantastic for the era. Shell truck, fantastic. Here's the rest of the shell, fantastic. Doors to the garage, roll-up doors. These guys, can't get enough of these guys. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is a very specific few years era of Technic. Those didn't last too long. I don't know if it's more than 2 or 3 years, but they did not last long at all. And they got immediately replaced with the ones that were actually molded to be the right angle. More castle stuff. This is a misprint. I've never had a misprint before. Console, but the lost the top. Huh. So that's not a sticker, is it? It's not a sticker. But I am short on those pieces. So this was, and there's the garage door, 1x2 brick. So this was one of the ones that I actually like, oh, I really want this. And it's because it has all these pieces in it that were right from the 80s. A little parrot. Got the little parrot. And more shell stuff. I could probably figure out what set this is. Actually, let's get sorted in here. A white wing plate. So, a sticker from the airport line from back then. So I'm going to keep that. It's been full. But again, I was always looking for old gray parts, just even plates and stuff. So that is one bin full. So that is a full bin now. It's going to be washed. I'll start with the next bin, empty bin, because I did all my sorting. Oh, this is an older one. I got this a couple days ago, and I bought it because it looked like it was part of, and I know it's part of, Lego Dimensions. And sometimes when you buy a Lego Dimensions parts pack, you find the whatever you call UPCs, whatever. But this is, none of them have, there's nothing in here. I got a whole bunch of, from Value Village, a whole bunch of plates, the round circle things that have the codes on them, with nothing on top. So the Batmobile from Dimensions, I don't remember where that one's from Dimensions. So yeah, this is all Dimensions stuff. And again, I don't mind the Dimensions. Josh and I played it a lot, and we had a lot of fun doing it. What the heck is that? That's something I don't care about. So that goes right into the trash can. So yeah, and it's dirty, icky. This is why everything gets washed when it comes into into my room. I take it all apart. It all gets washed. Because look at the stuff left over. And again, I just clean this thing. So again, I'm gonna get my patented. Let's see. What am I doing here? Oh, this is a very old roll of masking tape. So basically, like Rocky, I just wrap my hand like that. Usually not this tight, but I seem to be under the, and you can just roll it across. So you get to see me cleaning lint or gunk off of my tabletop. Okay, next. Now, where are we? This is also right in my wheelhouse. I think it was bought at the same time. Oh, good catch. A lot of classic. Oh, there it is. There's the other part of that light and sound. I didn't see that. This one was $14.99 again. 9-volt battery box. Pretty much ubiquitous in my collection. But a lot of old gray. Here, and new gray as well. The old wagon wheels, like those. Tires. Actually, I'm running low of the two what is that? Who cares? And a black corrugated hose, again, nice to have. Flowers, nice to have. More of the roller doors. So again, this is a no-brainer. This is absolutely a lot. Legs, I didn't even see those. This is definitely a lot that I would have bought any day of the week. More shells, so it does belong to that same guy, the same set. Gray corrugated hose, which is not faded, because some of my grays have actually done the yellowing. So I don't know what that is, and it looks like it's hopefully plastic and not leather. Anywho, this is the trials and tribulations of finding used lots, is that you just never know what you're gonna find in them. It's all, I find it exciting when I'm looking through a bag at a store, when I see a bag at the store, and that's not even Legos, so I don't care. Again, normally I would have a bin that I start filling up and take back to the store, but this is a fantastic lot. Again, those pieces again, swords for castle. So I could probably find out what set that belongs to, but again, I probably won't build it. This is something that I'm going to show you in a couple seconds. So this lot belongs to the last lot that I'm going to show you. And the reason why I bought it. The 5590, it does hold a little bit of a story for me, because I never owned it. I'm sure I have, oh yeah, the rails for the garages. So actually I should open up the battery box to see how good it is inside, because sometimes the batteries leak, and this one didn't. So that's nice. It's a nice pristine battery box. What I'm noticing about these pieces, overall, they're pristine. Again, don't wash that. Do not put the electronic parts in the wash. Remember that I have to take the light bulb out too. And the very last one. So the 5590, I remember getting a brochure when I was buying my classic space sets, and I said, wow, that's gorgeous. Because again, this is before they started building all the other sets that are like immaculate, like Ferraris and stuff like that. but the expert builder, whatever. I honestly can't remember now what it was called. But the 5590 is one of the ones that I actually really, I won't say coveted, but wanted a lot. So this was $40, and I immediately got on my phone and I Googled how much a 5590 is going for these days. And again, not all the parts seem to be here, but it's probably in the other bins that we pulled out now. So most of the helicopter is here, most of the truck is here, and most of the trailer is here. So I've never owned this set. I can almost guarantee though that I could have built this set from my collection because of my years of collecting. Because I think I have actually seen the 5590 stickers in my collection, but I never got around to it because again, it's not classic space, it's not Technic, it's not whatever. But in the end, this back in the day, let me turn over this way because that's how you set up. This was a beautiful, beautiful set. It was, oh, I didn't realize it's tier 2. Look at that. Again, I've never owned it. I never put it together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wash these pieces and I'm gonna refurbish this set till it's complete and figure it all out. But basically it's just dust on these things. Like this thing was on display, like look at the trans blue, it's not even scratched, not even scratched. So, and the black is mint and the red is mint, like everything's mint. So that's what I'm gonna do. And there's some other miscellaneous pieces in here that they just threw in here, probably from newer sets and lots. So that is why, had I not bought any other lot, this is the one I would have. Let's go this way. So it's on the screen. That thing goes here somehow, and that goes there somehow, and ta-da! So, and I think the tires are, I've already seen the tires go by. So, I honestly can't complain about that at all. I think 150 was the price I saw when I did a quick Google. But again, I don't sell Lego overall. It's not who I am. At this point, I have sold Lego sporadically, like once or twice. I'm gonna pull the camera back down here, so give me a sec. Camera's back down here. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. There we go. Just set it up. Whatever. I can guarantee with the collection that I have and the used parts, the used lots that I bought over the years, that I could have built this, and I probably have all the parts for it. I don't think there's any specifically unique parts to this set that were not in other sets. And I think just by buying the used lots, I got this set. And again, I have to go through my stickered brick collection to see if I got any 5590 stickers for this guy. But, and the stickers are peeling on this one, but whatever. When Lego got to Expert Team, I can't remember what they were called, but they went from generic scaled down versions of vehicles and planes and whatever to this guy. And there was a little sporty car, little Sportster, the blue one, and a few other things. And I was in awe that you could get this much detail. Now, of course, now it's all detailed and you can't tell the difference between a Lego build and a AMT model build overall from a distance. And I love that part too, by the way. But this is when Lego sort of got serious, not directly at the adults, because this was not directed at the adults, but this was directed at the mid-teens. So when most teens start putting away their Lego because it's too childish, this is the set. I mean, the Technic also did that, and this Technic led into this overall because there's lots of Technic pieces here, but this was not Technic. But I was enthralled by this set when I first saw it, and I saw it in the store shelf a bunch of times. It was a big box, beautiful picture. They didn't try to tone it down for kids. It was directed at a more serious builder, kind of like Technic was in 1977. But this was a whole next level of detail-oriented builds. where you look at even this is missing half the parts off of it. You say that's a gorgeous build. For me, I think it's one of the most beautiful builds they ever did for that era, and for how realistic it looks. And the helicopter, not now, when I get it fixed up, how realistic it looked. And I mean, I will also say I didn't know any other Lego fans when this thing was released. I was the only AFOL that I knew of, seriously, at the time. Like, my friends would come over and play after church. I mentioned that story with my big, huge Lego collection, because that's fun for a day. But they weren't a fan of Lego like I was. And until the internet, I was the only adult fan of Lego. And then I found out there was a whole bunch of only fans of Lego. And a lot of them had met other people their own age that were fans of Lego. I did not. There was not one person after my 16th or 17th year. Like, Jake and Pete made the movie with me, but they were in it for the movie and not the Lego. Like, to me, it's a Lego movie because there's Lego in it. They were, hey, let's make a movie, and we're going to use Lego as the way of making it. And again, it's fantastic for them, right? That the movie was their appreciation of that. The Lego and the movie were my appreciation, and I'm glad they were there because they knew how to make a movie and I knew how to make the Lego. So it was like whatever. Jake was still, because he was a few years younger than me, still was, Lego, but it was like dwindling for him, where I was still passionate. Like, this Lego's great. And so as soon as I hit college, nobody. Now, people like the movie that we made, because I had VHS copies of it and I lent it to some people and they didn't get it back. But people like the movie because, hey, it's fun, it's unique. Some kids got together and made a movie. And yet, and again, as I said, my friends come over and play when I had Lego. But overall, my nephews, who are like 20 years younger than me, love Uncle Dave's Lego collection because they come over and they play with it. My cousin Cassie, who was like far younger than me when she was like 3 or 4, would come over and play my Lego collection. Yay! And so it was. This was, I think, there's so many game changers in the history of Lego. The minifig, 1978, Technic, 1977. This was not as big as those steps, because the minifig was a radical change for Lego. And I think even the first year they didn't know how to handle it, because they didn't build the cars for minifigs, and nor were the buildings for minifigs. They still had the old style of making buildings and cars. Whereas it took them a couple years to like 1978 to the classic space to ramp up into, but the 600, like, the guy can't get into the car and the shell truck and all that stuff. So it took them a while to get up to speed. And then people say, oh, but those sets were also released in 78. Yeah, but the original minifig sets were not the scale with the vehicles. Then you got the Castle Classic Space in town. Done, right? They got there. So that was a game changer. Technic was a massive game changer, again, in my world. 1977, when the expert builder sets come out. They didn't call it Technic at the time, but the expert builder sets blew my mind, because up until then it was basic brick, and all of a sudden you can do stuff with it. You can make something that moves on its own. Again, they had the 4.5 volt motors and the trains and all that stuff, also game changers. So this wasn't a huge game changer, but this was expert builders or expert team, I can't remember. All of a sudden you're making the Lego companies releasing stuff that looks like almost identical to the real thing, as close as possible as they could with the parts and pieces and the technology at the time. And again, that's evolved, but this was the first step. And I loved it. I remember seeing it in the store. I remember seeing this set in the store, thinking I'm just buying classic space and this was a lot of money back then, and I did not buy it. And again, not a regret. It's like me not buying the space shuttle 480 off the store shelf when I first saw it. And again, I was very fortunate that Jake found that box and I got to have it, because to me that was, and I said it before, the peak of Technic. After that, it got into bigger panels, bigger pieces, bigger whatever, to make it look like a realistic model So you got the Bugatti, you got the Porsche, you got the Ferrari, you got the other stuff. But the Technic Space Shuttle is, I think, the most complicated, not with parts, because all the newer ones are far more complicated than that thing. And the book to build it is 10,000 pages long. But the most complicated Technic build they ever made. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to stitch all this stuff together. I'm going to wash these pieces at some point. I'm going to refurbish this, and I'm probably going to make a video of it. But I don't know when that's going to happen because I got a lot of other things I want to do. But I had those 6, 7, 10 bags totaling $100 minus discount, $80. You saw what I got. I think it's well worth. Let me just get those things out. There's this one. It's not full. Is that on screen? There's this one. The parts are already falling out of it. So, then I put those in there. So I think in the end, what you get here, well worth the $80. I'm not gonna get into it. I've talked too much. I'm gonna wrap this up now. This is a long video. I might cut off this whole back part. I don't know yet. Everybody out there, stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.